on with our North Carolina Tar Heel save. So, I'll wait to get our little red light, make sure we're up. We can take a look here at the roster that we're left over with after last year. I got a red light. We're live. So, pretty experienced here at guard, although we've only got 3 guys. We've got Calhoun, Harris, and Morris. I think we lost a couple to early declaration. At small forward, we're absolutely stacked with Mansell and Claggett from last year, and then we add in the number 3 overall recruit, Chris Brand. Buddy, I'm streaming. Well, the assistant coaches had to holler down. And then we still got Kyle Dodd. We added in Stuart Ricks, and Stuart was the number 1 rated player in the country. I mean, our freshman class was just crazy. Where's the other one? Oh, Gomes, I think, was a little lower, right? Well, he was 12th. Not quite as highly thought of. Still a pretty solid player, though. I expect Brand to leave. I expect Ricks to leave. And Gomes is probably 50-50. Matt Jordan, he could very well go as well. So we could be completely rebuilding on the inside. There's no real good way to tell with these guys. As light as we are in guard, these guys have been here 3 years. I think they'll stick around for another. So, as usual, like maybe 1 guard. We're gonna load up our list, do it like we always do, and move on from there. So before we can, while we're still waiting for people to realize we're up and live, we can take a quick look here at these ratings, because I'm sure some of this is just going to be absurd. So yeah, Morris with 8 scoring. We got all 3 of our small forwards are 8s and 9s in scoring. That's ridiculous. 2 of them were 8s on the inside. None of them with a great jumper. Morris has got the scoring and the jumper. When we take a look at the inside, Matt Jordan with the scoring and the inside scoring, so he's good to go. He's also a heck of a defender, pulling those rebounds. Take a look. We can scroll through here real quick and see what kind of... Oh, man, ball magician, playmaker, defender. So Calhoun's got 3 player types. Kyle Dodd's got the bucket getter. Gomes doesn't have anything. Chris Brand with the bucket getter. Mansell, bucket getter. Stuart Ricks, the paint dominator. Kevin Harris is the same as Calhoun. He's just loaded up with these player types. Claggett all over the place. He's got the defender, the cleanup, so he's solid. Jordan with 4. I don't think I've ever seen somebody with 4. Jordan's got the bucket getter, defender, cleanup, and paint dominator. Jeez. These are some of our walk-ons back here. Morris, I don't remember, did we start off with Morris? No, we started off with Calhoun. So Morris also bucket getter, defender. We got bucket getters everywhere on the court this year. So it'll be very interesting to figure out who's starting, who's scoring, how we distribute all of this. But first of all, let's get our recruiting out of the way. Then we can get to our setting up the roster and then get through these. Oh, I didn't mean all positions. This might take a minute to load. But yeah, we can get through the recruiting, then we can get the lineup set, then we can get into this season and see if we can set some more records here. So, no surprises in how we're going to go. Oh, I do not want that JUCO on my list whatsoever. Whew, not a lot of interest at the point guard spot. Not at all. And this kind of happens when you have this much talent. Like, none of these guys see any playing time in their near futures. Can I get 3 stars anywhere? No. I've got these 2 guys, and then I can take the JUCO, or I can go straight to the 2 stars. Yeah, Doritos Locos Tacos, we're definitely still doing it. We did one last week. We're doing it again. We're carrying the series as far as we can. The problem is we just have no interest here at the point. Let's see. Do we have any America East guys with decent GPAs? We will add in that one. No. Yes. He's already on a list. Oh, he was already cool. Got it. So that might be part of our problem is we don't have a lot of point guard talent here in the America East with decent GPAs. Jay Johnson's all right. Brandon Matthews is all right. 2.5 starts getting a little bit scary. So we'll move on from that. Check out the shooting guards. All right, we got some depth here. So far more likely that we can bring in a decent shooting guard this year than point guard, which is all right because we've already got 2 point guards. We only have 1 shooting guard on the roster. This is all good. Small forward. Like, we have no room to play players at small forward. But we still got some that are interested because these are going to be the absolute top flight guys. And, you know, they're going to walk in and expect playing time regardless of who's already here. All right, now hopefully we got a number of big men, especially centers, that are going to have some interest. Ideally. Because we're going to be hurting otherwise. Let's see what we got here. No, very light. Only like the top players in the country have any desire to be here. They all know that otherwise, like if you're not the absolute elite, you just have no shot at getting playing time over here right now. We can add in Morris. Again, just trying to stick in region, decent GPAs. Obviously not a guy like that. Typically, we can generate some interest here in these kind of guys if we need it. Hopefully, we don't need it. Hopefully, we can just stick right with right in that very top-notch recruiting, and just keep bringing those guys in. If they're all one and done, so be it. Well, we can handle that. We've been cruising. We're just grabbing the top 3 or 4 targets basically every time at this point. So let's see what this camp info looks like. Let's see if there's anybody else we might want to jump in on. With the interest as low as it is, you know, we got 16 extra spots on our call watch list. We could add a handful of guys from these camps if we need to. We just need to make sure that we're checking GPAs before adding anybody. Because sometimes, like the only times I ever get caught up with a bad GPA on one of my lists is when I start going out and just pulling straight off the camps, and I forget to check that GPA first. What's up, Blazer Taz? It's going good, buddy. I tell you what, I been playing some other things. It's getting warm out. Been doing more with the kids, all that sort of stuff. So being out and active, I was getting into some sim stuff, but I've done so much of the basketball. I was like, I'll try some other stuff. I did a little bit of OTP, and then for the past week or so, I've been playing some Football Manager, and I'm terrible at Football Manager. So between getting drubbed in that, and then of course in the CBGM, I had my big man Mike Gray go down with the season-ending injury and got bounced in the first round of the ACC tournament. So I needed a bit of a pick-me-up. So we had to get on stream here. We had to get back into this North Carolina save and do some big stuff. So that's what we're going to work on here. All right, let's see. We've already brought him in. For Walls, he's already got interest. He's already on our list. But we will host and scout. And let's go ahead and scout there as well. Robinson. Yep. So the nice thing is all these guys in the top 5, they were all already interested. They're all already on our list. So and these are just the absolute best of the best. We've already brought him in as well. All right, so all good there. Let's take a quick look down at this camp. Now, he's got interest. He's on a list, so we'll bring him in as well. Gary Morris, already on the list. That's the nice thing. Okay, so here's the first one not on our list. Sean Brown. I apparently don't have a report on him. So without knowing the GPA, I'm just going to avoid it. It scares me. I guess same with Vickers. And Underwood. What in the world did I do for reports last time? In Football Manager, I started off with, I was never comfortable with all of the rules and whatnot with soccer, so I figured I better start off smaller. So, I usually start off in, the North and South leagues in England. So, for this one, I was doing Dartford, and it was freaking awful, man. I had a couple of nice players out on loan, or in on loan rather, and I got all the way. I was in first for half the season, and then right at the end, long story short, in the Vanarama South, the team that finishes first gets promoted, and then 2nd through 7th go into a 16 playoff. 2nd and 3rd get a 1-round bye. So I came in 2nd in the standings, missed promotion, had to go into the playoffs, got the 1st round bye, won the semifinal, and then lost the championship, which the champion gets promoted. So like I lost the league overall by 3 points, by the way. So I was 1 win away in the regular season, and I was 1 win away in the playoffs from promotion, but ultimately got stuck back in the Vanarama South. So yeah, at that point I moved around to a couple of things. I'm actually trying now with I tried a save with some team in the German division, and I just completely didn't understand that transfer window. So it's all a big learning experience. When I get done here, I'm going to bounce back over. I'm doing a save in the Sky Bet 2 with, I think, Northampton. So that's all of the Football Manager we're going to talk about for now. But if anybody wants to hit me up later with some tips and ideas, I'll take anything, except I don't want spoilers on, like, you should go for this specific player. Like, if you got tactical ideas and overall advice and guidance, I'm good for that. I don't need any spoilers on who I can go out and grab for like $200 that's some kind of five-star player. That's not the way I play. Alright, in Vegas. So if I don't have the right... I don't know what report I pulled. It couldn't have been a national report, though, because I don't have any of these guys. Maybe I just pulled, like, East, Southeast, and Midwest or something? But I didn't get any of those guys. All of our options are done for this week, right? We just need to skip ahead. Yep. So we already got one awesome visit there in James Leslie, so that's good. A couple more camps here under our belt. All right. Cool visit. Enjoyed it. Cool visit. Collins and Robinson were both at Houston. We don't have anybody at Chicago. There's Robinson was the MVP there. So that's good news for sure. Let's see. Anybody else that has interest or the grades? No, of course not. We don't know. Oh, wait. There was Collins. I missed Collins. I got some weird report going on. Alright, we're sticking with what we got. Not going to worry about the camps. We'll just, we'll do that to eliminate people off of the list that we've already made and assume that that's going to get us where we need us. So for live scouting, I'll hit those two, and then I'll hit, who was the MVP at Indy? Do I have him on my list? Was it Costa? Yeah. Oh, Carlos Costa, the small forward. As if we have any more room for small forwards, but, you know, we'll take what we can get right now. That's all right. We can make it happen. Wonder if there's a bug with the scouting report that I pulled. I mean, it's possible. It's also possible I just, you know, it was a week ago. I could have been trying something different or had something different in my head and I forgot what it was. So it could be either way. Dead period. We can skip through that. Now we'll get our last two camps, clear the list, and basically be done with recruiting. Oh, with the GPAs. No, it's because I don't have the right report. That's all it is. Any of these guys, you can see I've got the GPA on all of them. So I just don't have the right report set up. Enjoyed it. All right. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Let's go in here and clear up these lists so that we can focus and get a move on. Because we want to get to the games, right? And of course, the very first one, we got no information whatsoever. What camp did he go to? Is Miller on the East Coast Jam? Looking for Vince Miller. No, he's not there. And he's not there. So that's fine. You know, we don't have the information on him. I'm not gonna kick him off the list. Here's top 10. But I'm not gonna prioritize him either. Didn't stand out. Boom. Get out of here. Top 25 at Big Apple, that's fine. Top 10 at Big Apple, see? All right, our 3-star guy getting it done. Top 10 at Big Apple, getting it done. All right, so some decent point guard options there. We only had to cut one of them off the list. Take a look at these shooting guards. We got top 25 in Indy. Top 5 at Indy. 25. Top 25 at Vegas. All right, all right. Top 25 at Memphis. Hardworking. Top 5 at Houston. Top 25 at Indy. There's a good one. Top 5 at Memphis. He must have gone to East Coast Jam. 25 at Big Apple. Top 5. Didn't stand out. That is a mortal sin for being on our list. And decent, not spectacular, is also getting you cut. All right. We are cruising. MVP at Indy Elite. Yep, all good there. Top 5 at Indy. Yep. Decent. You know, decent at Indy. Not going to a regional, and top 6 in the country. He's going to be a one and done, and he's just not going to be worth it. So, no. Didn't stand out anywhere. No. No. Alright, so we got a couple of heavy hitter options there at the small forward, but nothing lower than that. Not a lot of depth at that one, but luckily we don't need it. Didn't stand out at Indy. Top 10 in the country. No. Alex Randall, alright. No to you. Definitely no to you. Last position, and then we cruise. Phil Walls. Top 5. Top 5. Didn't stand out. Decent. And decent. And that's it. So that's our entire list. We got 21 targets. We can easily get in-homes on all of these guys. And we'll have some left over as well. We'll go live on... do we like Neal or Hammond better? Top 25, I bet it's Hammond. Top 5. We like Hammond. Cool. So we got 21 guys on our list. We need 3. All we need is 3. Let's get into August 21st, see what the top 10 lists look like. Then we can identify our 3, put out offers, open them up with the phone calls to see what all they're interested in, and go from there. Plus, it gives us a little bit more time for our assistant to work them up, see if we can't get some more of these to flip. Yeah, see, now we're getting more hots, more warms. People are warming up to us. I will go ahead and clear these out as I go. And now here we go with the Norton Award. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Norton Award candidates. With Justin Claggett, the number 3 candidate, and Matt Jordan, number 4, right behind him. Morris in the top 11. So again, you know, same as last year, these guys are going to end up cannibalizing each other's stats. They can't all be the best player in the country, unfortunately. But it is nice to get that preseason recognition for sure. All right. We're about done with our hosting here. It's going to be right in time for August 21st, too. We'll have 1 left after this advance. There's a point guard I never scouted. I don't think it said I never scouted. Well, you're talking about because I don't have an overall? It was probably this one who wasn't showing up as having any interest. I think. Vince Miller. No, Vince Miller... Well, the thing is, I don't ever scout these guys. I'm getting these overall ratings from the camps. And Vince Miller apparently didn't go to a camp. Like, he must have gone to East Coast Jam and then not gone anywhere else. Because he didn't go to Indy. And he didn't go to a regional. So, I mean, I can scout him, but I just don't have enough information on him. I'm just going to let it go. He wasn't... If he went to... Assuming he went to East Coast Jam, and we can go check it out. Vince Miller. Are these? Yeah, these are in alphabetical order. So there's Vince Miller. He went to East Coast Jam. And the problem is he didn't finish in the top 5. And this is a second-tier national camp. So for him to be a top 10 player, he's rated in the top 10, but he couldn't even finish in the top 5 at East Coast Jam. Like, no, it's kind of like the other guys that it's just not worth it. Not to say he's a bad player, but he's not going to stick around. He's a one and done, 2 years at best, and he's not ready to contribute immediately. So obviously that's just not going to be somebody that we're going to prioritize. All right, so we got a shot at Whitfield. Actually, let's take a look at the positions we're most interested in first. Shooting guard is certainly one of those. All right, Hampton's got a lot of interest. I don't have as much interest in him as he does in me. Collins was top 5 at Indy, top 25 at Indy, top 5 at Houston. We're number 1 on his list, and this is a guy we could get a couple of years out of. So I'm definitely interested in him very much. We're going to offer him a scholarship. Open up the rest of these categories. All right, so we've got our first target. Here, we've only got 2 guys on the list. The Indy MVP and this one who was MVP at Houston and top 5 at Indy. We're not in his top 10 anywhere. We are in Costa's top 10, but just barely. Wisconsin's hot. We don't have much of a chance there. Not a bad thing because we really need to be looking at big men more anyway. Yeah, when you got UNC money, you can call everybody. So let's see what we got going on here at power forward. Top 5 at Indy. Yes, please. I will take you. We're number 2 on his list. Let's open up the rest of this. Offer the scholarship. So we're in on James Leslie. And, ooh, it's center. It's looking rough. So we're in his top 10, but we're not really competing. And kind of the same there with Gary Morris. Not a ton of interest there. He was top 5 at Indy. I think I'm going to kind of break my rules and make a run at Phil Wall. But I am going to take another look over here real quick. So we already got the offer out. But just in case, top 25 at Indy. Decent at Indy. Oh, but we're... But he would stick around for a while is the difference. We could get a few years out of him. All right. I like Alex Randall. But the problem is we keep pulling in so many of these one and dones. I'd say let's just see if we can't warm up the center first. And if we can warm him up and it looks manageable, we'll go for that. We'll give him 1 week into the in-home visits just to see if we can't gin up a little bit of interest there. Because, I mean, he's a solid player. All right, so hopefully... Oh, God. We're getting pushed out of his top 10. That's really a long shot. Maybe we should go over on the other power forward. Double down at power forward. You know, you're still bringing in 2 big men. And as a matter of fact... Oh, what am I looking for? As a matter of fact, I'll let this go until we get to September 11. And if I'm not... Okay, now we're warm. So we're at least within striking distance. We're staying in the top 10. That's okay. That's okay. So we can give this a go. So we'll make visits to the 3 offers, plus we'll make a visit to Randall. See if we can keep him interested. Phil Wall is down with the school prestige. Oh, Alex Randall doesn't even give me a chance. He goes straight to Pitt. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So now we really got all our eggs in the Jim Wall basket there. Top 5 at Memphis, top 25 at Indy. This is probably our backup option. At least he has some default interest. He's into location. And Alex Conference on Alex Collins on the conference prestige. All right, let's see if we can get lucky in here. Oh, we got at least Collins. We got, all right, no scholarships available. So hopefully, let's see, that's four in-home visits. That could be 3 decisions. 1 decision. Damn. All right, so we got Collins. We didn't really get any information out of the rest of these guys. Leslie says he hopes to see us on the court next season, but he didn't commit. And Wall didn't commit either, but let's see if we jumped up to number 1 on him, ideally. Hopefully, maybe. All right, Leslie. We are number 1 with him. That's a good sign. So, feeling good about him. The other big man, Phil Walls. Oh, we're still 9th. So, I do not feel good about this one whatsoever. We need a backup plan real quick. All right, so, this is a decent try. What else do we still have? Costa went to Wisconsin. Robinson to Iowa State. No shocks there. Let's see. Do we have any of these point guards? Are any of them an option? Top 10 at Big Apple. Kind of an option. Maybe. Jay Johnson. Okay. What do the shooting guards look like? Could we just grab 2 shooting guards? Top 25 at Vegas. No. The point guard was better than him. Josh Neal. Top 25 at Indy. Not in his top 10. Earl Chambers. We're number 4. Top 25 at Indy. Top 5 at Big Apple. So, yeah, Earl Chambers is another good option. So, he's into coach discipline. We've got that for you. And, all right. So, we got our 2 offers. We got 4 visits. Let's go get our schedule worked out. All right, so at Arizona, that'll be a nice game early. Let's see, can we get any other interesting games? We can at least get Ohio State in here. Let's see, what else we got? Who else is on the list? Anybody else? Wichita State, Wisconsin. Well, let's bring in Wisconsin. They did steal one of our point guards a couple of years ago. So, I'm sorry, no, we got to go with Missouri. Got to go with Missouri. All right, we'll get our revenge match finally with Missouri. I think we already had did we already have a revenge match against them? I feel like I talked some trash about Missouri once upon a time already. We've obviously lost one of our offers here. But we got 2 decisions, so we landed one and lost one. We lost Walls, right? Yeah, we lost Walls to Marquette. We got James Leslie. Not a shock. We knew Walls was a long shot from the jump. That's why we got some backup options. So, what was our favorite backup option? It was one of these guards, right? Let's just... Gary Morris, where are we? Oh, we jumped straight to the top at Gary Morris. He was top 5 at the Big Apple. Yeah, we're going to need big men. So, yeah, let's do this. I mean, we jumped to the top of his list. It can't be a bad thing. And we'll stay on these guards. I think Chambers was the one I liked the best, yeah. Chambers is the guard I like the best. If we got to go with another shooting guard, it's going to be Chambers. All right, but we definitely... Because I'm worried we could lose both of our centers. Like, Jordan is amazing. He's got 4 player attributes. And then the other one, the freshman, was number 12 in the nation. We could lose both those guys this year. I would like to grab a center if we can. Yeah, I put out the offer on the center. I checked it right there before I left because I went to the other shooting guard, and the offer scholarship button was grayed out. At least I think that it was. I intended to double check that, but might have missed it. Sometimes it still says 1 scholarship available, but there's not really 1 available. Yeah, clearly I got the offer out because Gary Morris commits. All right, take a quick look at the class. 3-man class. We grabbed 2 guys in the top 25 and then stepped out a little bit for Gary Morris. He's still top 10 in his position overall. Star of the class is going to be James Leslie, 2nd overall recruit in the country. He was top 5 at Indy, so that's beautiful for the future of our power forward position. Alex Collins, the shooting guard. He was top 25 at Indy, top 5 at Houston. Also in the top 25, could be a guy that we get more than 1 year out of. James Leslie's almost certainly one and done. And then Gary Morris, who I have no expectation will ever leave us. You can see here, we just looked at him, top 5 at the Big Apple. He went to East Coast Jam, so we didn't get a report on him over there, but should be a solid player. Should stabilize the center position a little bit going forward so that we don't have to worry about the entire class leaving. So that's it as far as recruiting goes. Yeah, a lot of times Random Task said he thought he saw I had one more scholarship available. That's what I was saying. Sometimes it'll still say one scholarship available. You have to leave that entire screen and then come back for it to show that it's gone. But you can check it by like clicking on a player that you know you haven't offered and seeing if you can offer them. And if the button's grayed out, that means all your offers are out. So that's that. Now, what do we want to do? What do we want to do at point guard, first of all? Probably Kevin Harris. I mean, Calhoun's got the better jumper. Harris the better scorer. Calhoun's the better handler. Harris the better defender. It's neck and neck there. It really is. Proficiencies, 62 and 67. 75 and 7. Oh, wait, that's Dodd. Harris, 78 and 74. Yeah, because Harris got the redshirt year when he was injured. Player profiles. So he's not too concerned about playing time. Calhoun, if I recall, expects starters minutes. So I think maybe just for the sake of keeping everything peaceful, we start Calhoun. We rotate Harris through the 2 guard positions. Obviously, that's our 3 men at that position. God, I don't know what we do at small forward. I mean, we have to start Claggett. But Chris Brand was the number 3 recruit in the country, and that just leaves this guy. Look at the ratings on this guy, and we're just going to be like, no, sorry, you're the odd man out. Like, what do you do there? I mean, we're not going to move. We're not going to slide him up. The only option that we have is to slide him down and place him at the 2, because he's not busting into this power forward situation. He's not going to bust into the center situation. So, all right, the depth chart's going to be interesting. What's up, Breeze? Glad to have you, buddy. All right, let's see what the AI suggests, first of all. Yeah, I kind of thought it might suggest Harris. And Harris may be the better player. I don't know. But I'm going to let it play Calhoun. We're going to move Harris up. He's going to fill in at both guard positions. And then, what am I looking for here? Oh, right, Brand. All right, so Harris, then Rick's on the inside, Brand, and Gomes. And then Mansell fits in there. I think all these guys down here are walk-ons, actually. All right, suggest a matrix for me. And then I'm going to change it all. All right, and then we'll let Mansell get in a little bit there. Where else do we want him? Maybe a couple minutes here early. How about that? That at least gets Mansell on the floor, right? You're getting all the power forward minutes. All right. You, sir, are getting all the small forward minutes. And Gomes at the center. All right. I feel good about that. Oh, the Pro Basketball 22 Developer Dynasty streams are coming soon? Yeah, those are real good last year. If those are coming again soon, that is exciting news. So definitely looking forward to that. Let's take a look just real quick. Player preference, deep bench, fast pace. We're fully set up here. Strategy wise, 50-50 on our motion and triangle. How heavy do we want to lean into it? We can lean in quite heavy. We got to go 70 at least. Maybe we bump that up to 75. I don't know. You know, Gomes, Brand, obviously not ready for it. Neither's Ricks. But they're all playing backup minutes. So we can lean into it pretty good. And then, obviously, Harris is rotating on the other one, so he knows what he's doing. All right, so everything's nice and set up here. Only thing we got to worry about this season's injuries, boys. Otherwise, we're going pedal to the metal, see what we can do. We got upset. What was it? We get upset in the Elite Eight last year. I know we lost 3 or 4 games throughout the season. I know we won the ACC tournament, and then I think we lost in the Elite Eight. So let's see if we can get that turned around this year. We got a little bit more experienced backcourt. Hopefully we stay healthy this year. I don't remember if it was Morris or the other shooting guard. It might have been the other shooting guard, actually. They got hurt last year, which was super unfortunate. But let's see if we can stay healthy. Let's see if all those... I mean, we got how many upperclassmen? We're starting junior guards, a junior small forward, a junior power forward, and a sophomore at center. So no seniors, but no freshmen either. A couple of freshmen there backing up. We've got everything this year except for depth at guard. Depth at guard could be problematic if we run into an injury. Now, like I said earlier, that would definitely be a situation where if we run into that, we can swing one of these small forwards down. That's the beauty of small forwards. You know, they're kind of versatile. They can play anywhere on the wing. I can slide a point guard or a shooting guard. Any of those can play at the point, and I can let that small forward play the shooting guard if need be. So hopefully we don't run into it, but that's the plan if we do. Inside-wise, we've got 4 rock-solid scholarship guys, and then if we had an injury issue in here, I'd probably take it down to a 3-man rotation. And if it went any further, we've got the walk-on to consider, or then we can slide a small forward the other way. And I'd probably rather slide them the other way, to be honest, because I think we had a couple of small forwards that were really strong inside scorers. Not a whole lot of strong jumpers outside of our starting shooting guard, Morris. Let's see what we get this year. We're going high pace. As bad as we ran people out of the building last time, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. We're going to beat teams by more this year. Should be some absolutely epic beatdowns. And again, we're still very much on the brutal recruiting difficulty level. First victim is Seton Hall, coming into the Dean Dome to let us just stretch out a little bit. Get ready to get rolling on this season before number 6 Missouri shows up to play. So the Seton Hall Pirates come in, and what happens? We beat them by 42. First game of the year, guys. We beat them by 42. We're off to a hot start. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Hopefully we see that just over and over at this point. But number 6 Missouri, it's not going to be easy. They could come in and shock us. It could happen. I don't want it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Missouri is going to rue the day that they refuse to increase my budget. That's the plan. That is definitely the plan. I think we're getting letters of intent in our mail right there. We only got 2. What's-his-face missed it. Was he a late ad? That center missed. He had a 2.8. He must have been one of the ones that I went through and added. I'm going to go back and check because I got a theory about this. You guys know I always talk about it. I'm going to go back and check and see if Gary Morris is one of the ones that I thought, oh, he's in region, his GPA is fine, I'm just going to add him. Because he's not going to qualify. Now we are going to be kind of hosed on the inside next year. And we'll still have James Leslie. We should, hopefully we still have at least one other inside player. And a small forward can slide over or something, I don't know. But I don't think Gary Morris is going to be with us. So that's a bit of a surprise. But I'm 100% going to go back and watch the stream and see if he's one that I added late. Just because 2.8 looked safe to me. But, of course, if he had interest to begin with, then my entire theory's shot, and I got to start over. So, it'll be interesting to me. All right, so already a little bit of excitement in the stream. You know, something new for us. I guess winning by home by 40 doesn't do it for anybody. So, they drop us down to number 11, which is interesting. All right, so now, I guess in theory we're the underdogs here. But we're taking on the Tigers. Once again, facing off against our former team. Not even close. 23 points. So that was a top 10 team in the country, and we just smoked them. Granted, that was at home again. But Matt Jordan had himself a big game. I think we're going to end up saying that a lot. Matt Jordan had a big game. He's got 4 badges, folks. He's going to have a lot of big games. But now we're headed off onto a neutral court to play TCU in one of these tournaments. And again, I've never taken the time to sit down and learn what these are. That kind of looks tropical, though. So maybe we're in Hawaii or something. Or I don't know. TCU on a neutral court. Whew! 35 points. My word. Jordan with the big, fat double-double. Claggett led the way with 20-something points. So putting beat downs on fools right now. New Mexico State Aggies stepping up to the plate. Let's see what they've got for us. New Mexico State, nothing. 35 again. Ooh, Ray Calhoun with 12 dimes. There we go. No big scoring there in that top 3. Where did all of our scoring come from? Morris, 9 of 18, 5 of 11 from 3, 24 points, and Matt Jordan with 15. Look at the plus minuses for our starters right there. Goodness gracious. Look at this. We had 14 turnovers. They had 23. Their point guard had 10 turnovers. Pretty sure that's a point guard. Yeah. So, yeah, that press... the combination of the zone, the press, the high intensity, everything else is just crippling these teams that really can't hang. And we're giving our athleticism a chance to really shine through. Now we got Butler in what should be the championship game of this tournament. 29. So they held with us better than the others did, but still nearly 30 points. This squad is rolling, guys. It's time to set records. That's all we're going for. Right now, this is just cruising for the record books. Seeing if we can get players to pop off for, scoring titles, scoring records, consecutive championships, whatever we can do. And then, of course, the undefeated season is what we're always going for. All right, so now we got to go on the road. So let's see what this team, they're not really a young team anymore, but they don't have senior leadership. Now, Nevada doesn't look like a very good team, so this shouldn't be a challenge, but road games are always weird. 94-76, so they kept it under 20. Well, 18-point victory on the road. We always talk about in chats and stuff that road games are extremely difficult to win. It's tough to be consistent on the road unless you're an absolutely elite team. What we find ourselves with here is an absolutely elite team, winning by 18 on the road against a bad team. Good teams on the road are still going to be very challenging. Get Michael Jordan or Kenny Smith to give some inspirational speeches. Yeah, we could. And we got a guy named Matt Jordan on our team. So, if you played at North Carolina and your name's Matt Jordan, don't you just put M. Jordan on your jersey and roll with it? That has to be That has to be what he does, right? All right, so now we're going to Arizona. Now they're unranked 4-1, but you know Arizona's one of those teams. You know, this could be a sleeping giant out here, so we got to be careful headed out west. Tar Heels and Wildcats. Oh, and they got us. Beat us by 13. Devin Bragg with 31 points and 8 rebounds. So even M. Jordan and Claggett and Calhoun and all the other ones, the dream of the undefeated season ends very early as Arizona smacks us on the road, bringing us down to earth by just a little bit. You can't beat everybody on the road by 20. If you want to go undefeated, you got to get very lucky. And we ran into an Arizona squad. I don't know who that guy that scored 30-something on us was, but obviously he wasn't having any of that in his home arena. We're walking around blowing teams out by 30 and 40, and he said, not today. Not happening. Michael Jordan at home's Matt Jordan. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe you get the actor, right? Michael B. Jordan. It's definitely not going to be MJ. Let's see. TCU again? We already did it to him on a neutral court. Now they're going to come into the Dean Dome right after we lost? Well, what do you want, TCU? Another beating. 25 points. Claggett with 23. Claggett, man. That guy, he might be living up to the hype. I keep saying that when you have 5, 6, 7, 8 of these Norton Award candidates, they kind of tend to eat up on each other's stats, and none of them can really shine. But Claggett might be breaking the mold here. He's having himself a heck of a season so far. I mean, he's gone for 20 a number of times. Yeah, I need a Matt Jordan jersey. I mean, how many... Jordan had a bunch of brothers, right? Surely there was a Matthew in there somewhere. Oh, 39 points against the Buckeyes. There's little M. Jordan. We'll call him the fake MJ. Fake MJ there with 13 points, something like that. All right, 8-1. Conference play hasn't started yet. We're moving on halfway through December, though, so we're definitely getting good into this season. The other thing that's fun when you start having seasons like this, the undefeated seasons are extremely tough to get. I kind of like to see how many seasons you can go without losing 10 games total. Like, I think last year we lost 4. We've already lost 1 this year. I'm sure there's a few more on the way. But if you can go like 3 seasons and not have a total of 10 losses, that's pretty awesome. So we will start keeping an eye on that as we go through these streams, as long as we stay at North Carolina and keep having ridiculous seasons like this. Now, on the road against the Cowboys, 33 points. Claggett again, I'm telling you. Claggett is the man this year. Justin Claggett. Absolutely going off. We're getting to the point here when we get around, about when the conference season starts up. We'll check out the dashboard, see what these player impact estimates look like. I've got to imagine that, sometimes it's hard to say. I've got to imagine Claggett's leading the way, though. Either Claggett or fake MJ. A lot of times, and some people in CBGM can speak to this, a lot of times I get centers with these, all this pressing and the zone defense and everything else. A lot of times I can get centers with some fairly decent numbers with steals. And, your center's already going to be scoring, already going to be rebounding. When you add steals into it, it can really, in my opinion, inflate their player impact estimate a little bit. But, I mean, it helps you win games, so I don't know if it's necessarily inflated. But if you got a center that's getting a lot of steals, he's probably going to be your most impactful player according to the pie chart. So that's why I say it's got to be either Claggett or fake MJ. Could, I guess, outside chance that it's Morris. I don't think that it's Calhoun, and I don't think it's going to be Dodd. On the road against the Utes. The 2 what? 38 points on the road. Fake MJ, Daryl Morris leading the way. Ooh, Temple doing it to Gonzaga on the road as well. We're not the only road warriors in this association. Oh, Ole Miss in the top 10. What is happening? Oh my word! What is happening in Oxford, Mississippi? The Ole Miss Rebels are in the top 10 of college basketball. Not even college football. I mean, you know, they got Eli, they had Archie, they got a history in college football. We're talking about college basketball. The Ole Miss Rebels just did that. Or are doing that actively, I suppose, would be more accurate. Goodness gracious. Uh-oh, team incident. How do we have a team incident? We didn't have a game. Stuart Ricks and Jonathan Ramage? So that's really bad news, because I know exactly who Stuart Ricks is. I have no idea who Jonathan Ramage is. So you can probably guess who this is going to end up poorly for. Don't worry, Stuart, I got your back. Jonathan Ramage, get out. Jesus, Stuart Ricks, the #1 player in the country last year, and you're trying to start crap with him. Although, in fairness, I guess Ricks is a disruptive force. But, still, we got his back, boy. He's a player. If we needed him to step up, he'd step up immediately. All the Ole Miss players joined the team out of the goodness of their heart. Yeah, absolutely. That's what they say in the SEC. Something about if you're not doing it out of the goodness of your heart, you're not trying, I think is how the saying goes. I think that was Barkley, right? If you're not cheating, you're not trying. No, all right. Ooh. Got to add somebody. We cut the scrub point guard, so we've got to add somebody to do that. That can be Hughes. That's fine. All right, Pitt. Our first conference victim, 86-56. Daryl Morris doing things. So, said when the conference play started, we want to jump over and check this out. Ooh, it might be Morris. All right, Jordan. No, 16 and a half. 16 and a half wins the day. But just barely. I mean, you can see Claggett and Morris right here neck and neck on the player impact estimates. And then Calhoun not doing too shabby either. Kevin Harris, only 5.81. How many minutes a game is he even getting? He's getting 15 minutes a game. He's only scoring 4 assists in 15 minutes. That's pretty solid. Not shooting all that well. Taking care of the ball, though. All right. We can check out all the stats, I suppose. Little mid-season break here. Oh, look at this. Points per game, 90. Opponent's points per game, 62. Whoo! My word. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, Morris with almost 17 a game. Claggett, 16 a game. Jordan, 14 a game. Jordan, though, adds in almost 8 rebounds. Only 1.7 steals. So he's not getting nearly the steals that some of my other centers have gotten traditionally. Mike Gray in the CBGM was getting like 5 steals a game. I guess here Calhoun, Morris, and Claggett are getting a number of these steals. And I bet part of the issue here is with all of the full court pressure, these guys are eating up some of the steals. So the zone defense really isn't as effective. Also, this guy's not playing nearly the minutes that Gray was. So all those things on top of each other, they add up. A lot of moving parts, a lot of things that go into it. But here we go. Oh, now we got to go on the road to the Ville. Now, I try not to be biased. I don't want to do anything too dirty to them, but they are 6-6. So, in a way, they earned it, right? Only 17, that's not that bad. Fake MJ leading the way. Morris jumped in there on the scoring aspect of it, and we get in and out of the Center unscathed. Nice, comfortable victory there on the road. And we're cruising. What are we, 2-0 in the ACC now? 3-0? I think it says 2-0, but it's hard to see because, like, when it's... Yeah, 2-0. When it's loading like that, the entire screen kind of dims a little bit. But we are into January, 12-1 overall, 2-0 in conference, #1 team overall in the country, and we are winning by an average of 28 points per game, folks. Granted, we're getting into the conference schedule. It could, back off of that a little bit. But just looking at these early games, now, a couple of these are at home, but these teams all look to be about 500. And I don't think a whole lot of 500 teams are going to do much to us at all. Now, Louisville was a 500 team on the road, and we only won by, 17, something like that. So I certainly don't think teams are going to do better than that in Chapel Hill. No, sir. That's 29. Look at Claggett, Morris, and Jordan, man. That is a nasty three-headed monster. Now, I don't want to just strictly limit it to a big three, because that isn't really that fair to Ray Calhoun, who's doing his part. And it's really not fair either to our other point guard, who's playing all this backup duty, Kevin Harris. Kevin Harris was a starter on a national championship team 2 years ago. So, he would be starting for this team if Calhoun weren't so insistent on getting playing time and Harris was so cool about, getting a little bit less playing time. But that's the main reason that that's set up the way that it is. If it weren't for that, I'd flip-flop that in a heartbeat. Just because Harris won us a championship. 31 points. Claggett, Morris, and Dodd shows up with 11. Okay, Kyle Dodd jumping in there. He's no slouch. By no means. Bad thing is we're going to bring in Leslie next year. Then Dodd will be a senior. We're going to lose both those guys. So we're going to have to go heavy onto the big men next year. We really need to hope that either Matt Jordan or our other center sticks around after losing the other center to an eligibility issue. That's going to be a challenge next time. We'll definitely be thin. But if we can keep one of the two centers that we have now, then we'll still have two power forwards, so we can have a three-man rotation, just like what we're doing at guard right now, and still be all right. Still competing for, obviously, ACC championships. ACC championships. Did I say AAC? Sometimes I get those mixed up because Louisville played in both. But anyway, we'll still compete for the ACC, and we'll definitely still be Final Four contenders, national championship contenders, all that good stuff. We got a heck of a team. A lot of senior guards next year. All right, so we get a couple of road games here. Florida State 500. Hopefully that's a pushover. Now Georgia Tech 11-5. That could get interesting. I mean, any road game can get interesting. I don't think this Florida State one will be very fun for them. But you never know. 8-8 on the year for the Seminoles. Can we make it 8-9? Oh, my word. In a big way. 105 points. We just dropped on them. Goodness gracious. 105-68. 37 points on the road in Tallahassee. Big time win. Statement win again. Well, I don't know if you can have a statement win against a team that's that bad. But it was a fun win. Anytime I see triple digits pop up, I'm loving it. All right, so now on the road against Georgia Tech, and then here in a couple of games on the road against Virginia Tech. So a couple of tough road games here in conference. Let's see if we can escape these with our perfect conference record intact at least. And the Yellow Jackets are going to be first. Not going to be easy. 12-6 is respectable. I mean, they're probably a borderline top 25 team. So playing teams like that on... Oh, look at Cincinnati sneaking in and grabbing one on top 10 Temple. All right, the Tar Heels on the road against the Yellow Jackets. Yes, sir, 24 points. Fake MJ with 13 and 9. Ray Calhoun showed up there. All right, so we avoid a possible pitfall in Atlanta. Now we get Clemson at home. That should be relatively safe. Should be. No guarantees in this game. There's a lot of times I would have liked to have said, oh, this is a guaranteed win. And I just would have like straight up bet my house on it and lost. So that's kind of how this is. Bad Clemson team at home. I don't know if I'd bet my house on it, but I'd probably bet it like a used car. And I would be very safe in that bet. 43 points. Daryl Morris, Justin Claggett, and Kyle Dodd. So Dodd popping up into our top 3 performers here in the past couple of games. Looks like he's on a little bit of a hot streak. Of course, it's nothing like the hot streak that Daryl Morris is on. Nothing like the hot streak that Justin Claggett's on. These guys are absolutely just going nuts this year. It's really fun to watch. All right, now on the road against Virginia Tech. Now, they are 9-8, and at first that looked a little bit scary. But watch this conference record when it pops up. I'm pretty sure it said 1-7. 1-7 in the ACC. This should be a beating. 95-68. On the road, I'll take it. Jordan and Calhoun, 2 of the top performers there, and I missed the third one. It was a little bit too quick. I can usually catch it all, but if I get distracted trying to do the math on what how much we won by or whatever, then I miss it. Now here's a decent, well, the overall record's decent. Again, bad ACC record, so this might be another laugher. Look at the game we got coming up on January 30th against a number 7 Syracuse Orange on the road. Not only is a top 10 team on the road deadly serious, but Syracuse especially, because they got that nasty 2-3 zone. Now, I don't know if Boeheim retires, if Syracuse keeps that in game or not, but I always have trouble up there. No trouble whatsoever against Miami, though. Usual suspects lead the way. At Syracuse, that certainly looks like an extremely dangerous game. NC State at home, they're 5-4 in the ACC. That's not bad. If we were going to their place, I would be a little bit more concerned. Here at home, we should be just fine. Although the Wolfpack and the CBGM keep getting me over and over. Hopefully next year I'll be healthy when I play them, and we'll have a shot. In this one, I think we should be favored. 9-0 in the ACC, 19-1 overall. Make that 20-1 overall. Taking care of business, folks. We're taking care of business. Now, let's see. We should, either today or tomorrow, we should get the email that what's-his-face failed his ACTs. Recruit Gary Morris has not met the minimum test score to qualify. Beautiful. All right, so Daryl Morris is actually leading the way in the Norton from our team. Claggett's fallen down. Matt Jordan. Well, they're all right here in this little clump. Like any one of them on a team by themselves, they'd be good to go. Shouldn't be any of our recruits that have any possibility of not being already signed. Oh, well, Gary Morris and Booker Jones. Wait, who is this? This guy's not signed. Top 25 at Big Apple. I mean, we might as well use the scholarship, right? He qualified. Why in the world wouldn't we? Why in the world wouldn't we? Gary Morris, 2.8 GPA, 930 SAT. I think our minimum is probably 940 or 960 or something. I'm still so interested to go back and rewatch this and find out if he originally had interest or if he was one that I was like, oh, he's in region, 2.8 is safe, go for it. 2.8 used to feel safe, now it doesn't. But now we got bigger things to worry about. Syracuse. Oh, if they're still rocking that 2-3 zone up there, it's going to be tough to go into Syracuse and win a game. Whew. Good old-fashioned Carrier Dome. North Carolina versus Syracuse. The Tar Heels in the orange. ACC top 10 matchup showdown on a big Monday. Can we get by them? Can we keep the undefeated record in the ACC intact? Yes, easily. Running away with it. 23 points, and it's Morris, Calhoun, and I think it was Jordan. Could have been Dodd. Claggett was not in the top 3 there. Morris and Calhoun certainly were. All right, so we're definitely at this point threatening. The Wildcats are cats that go wild on the court. You know, that's fair. That's a fair assessment there, Brees. I appreciate that. They certainly went wild on us. That's our only loss so far this year. It's really quite unfortunate. I would love to be undefeated right now, and it just elevates everything, right? Like right now, all the pressure's off until tournament time. I don't have to worry about anything. Like if I lose a game in here, so what? But the ACC is so incredibly weak, right? Look, Duke 9-11, Louisville 9-12, Wake 10-9. These teams are also incredibly weak. At Syracuse was probably the biggest threat that we had. If we had gotten past Arizona, we would really, really be threatening to go undefeated right now. But alas, we are not. We are 21-1. We are threatening to go undefeated in the ACC, though. We're halfway through the season. We've probably already played the biggest road game that we're going to play. I haven't looked at the schedule, but just a guess. Let's take care of Duke at home by 34. Fake MJ with 24 points. All right, now on the road against Wake Forest, Louisville at home, Pitt on the road. Is the whole ACC 500? Is that what we're dealing with here? Looks like the whole ACC is a 500 record. They're all terrible. I don't even know if going undefeated in this conference right now means anything. Now, it certainly does in CBGM. If you haven't already looked it up, go look it up. Jump on the GM Games Discord. Get in the league. I think we've got right now like 136 human-controlled teams. Huge multiplayer league. The competition there is fierce. I'm sitting here rolling over people in this, and that one, I can barely even make the NCAA tournament. All kinds of great players. If you're not already in it, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go get in the CBGM immediately. All right, here we go. The Demon Deacons. Going to try to protect their home court, see what they can do. We got a mighty squad. But, you know, it's always, you get the home court advantage. Stranger things have happened. They have. Not today, though. Not today. 32 points. Jordan, Claggett, and Morris. I need to start some law firms with some of these names, I think. I am interested. Again, get on the GM Games Discord. Follow CBGM. You find out. Chris is adding in a pretty interesting name file starting for this year, I believe. I'm sure that that's around and available. You can ask about it. So I'll definitely be interested to see some of the new names that start popping up. But for right now, the law firm of Morris, Claggett, and Jordan taking care of business. So we already beat Louisville by like 17 at the Yum Center. In Chapel Hill, 32. 32. I was talking earlier. I said we were winning games by an average of like 28 points, but we were heading into conference play, and that was probably going to start dropping down. It might have gotten bigger. This conference sucks this year. They're so bad. Let's see. Has that gotten bigger or smaller? It's gotten slightly bigger. by a point. 90-61 at this point. 4, 15, 5, 8. Oh. So Claggett is inching up on Jordan. Trying to take... Oh, Stuart Ricks is jumping in with his 6. All right, Kevin Harris. Okay. Any red faces? No, everybody's mostly all right. How's Stuart Ricks? I know he's a disruptive force. And his team relationship still sucks, but he likes me. I guess it doesn't really matter. He's one and done any way you cut it, so I don't have to worry about him transferring out. He'll be gone regardless. All right, headed into Pitt. 11 and 14 overall. 5 and 9 in the ACC. 25-point victory. Law firm of Claggett, Jordan, and Calhoun that time stepped up. I feel like Calhoun's a good lawyer name. He should always be in the law firm. And lucky for us, we're keeping him happy with the we're keeping him happy with the playing time. So hopefully he's around for another year. Yeah, Ricks is a cool last name. Stuart Ricks is a heck of a player. He's not really getting his due here just because he came into a situation with Kyle Dodd who was so good. And Ricks, I feel like he's one of those players that was good. I mean, he was the number 1 player in the class, but he wasn't like one of those transcendent talents. And so he's just getting beaten out by a really good upperclassman. You get a guy who's ranked like 20th who sticks around 3 or 4 years, he can beat out a guy who's a freshman who's not transcendent. Boston College. If we lose to Boston College, it'll be the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me today. And as I already mentioned earlier in the stream, I've been losing at Football Manager all day, so I've had a lot of embarrassing things happen to me. I was in like the English 4th division and almost lost a match against a team in like the 7th or 8th division. I mean, I've had some bad things happen to me. Let's see what happens here. UNC at Boston College. 18-point victory. Claggett will not let me down. He refuses to let me down. He's keeping it cracking here in Chapel Hill. We're up to 16-0 in this ACC, and now we're seriously threatening to go undefeated in conference. We got Virginia Tech at home at Notre Dame. Okay, that's going to be the big one. I feel like I'm having PTSD from fighting with Agalia at Notre Dame all the time. But the Fighting Irish, and I'm pretty sure the luck of the Irish, I think that's who knocked us off our undefeated streak last year to begin with. Now, we ended up losing 4 or 5 games, but I think Notre Dame was the first one. So I do not care for them at all. That game right there is on February 24th is what's standing in between North Carolina and an undefeated ACC. Nothing else. Virginia Tech at home, Wake Forest at home. Those are both fine. I don't know what the last game is, but I'm just going to guarantee that we win it. The Notre Dame game is the one that could be the fly in the ointment. So the Hokies come in, and they're dismissed immediately by 39. Absolute embarrassment. Just get out of here. Oh, at Duke. All right, so I take it back. At Duke, even though they're a bad team and we should beat them, it's a rivalry game on the road, and wins at Cameron Indoor do not come easy, regardless of circumstance. So, first of all, let's get past the big one. 22-5, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the North Carolina Tar Heels, on a mission to go undefeated through the regular season ACC play. Can we go into South Bend and escape with an undefeated conference record intact? Yes, sir. By 22, Justin Claggett will not let me down. Every time I come up on a big game, he says, you know what? I got 30 for you, Coach Cards. I got 30 points. I might have 8 rebounds, 5 assists around here somewhere. Let me check the back. Justin Claggett is the man. So he keeps it rolling. Now we got Wake Forest at home and then Duke on the road. So I thought we were smooth sailing after the Notre Dame game, and Wake should be fine. But at Duke could pose a little bit of a risk. Not a huge risk. I think Notre Dame was more dangerous, but this is still a risk. Oh, there's Gary Williams. He's lacing them up again. All right, the Demon Deacons. Oh, jeez, 46. All right, so that was that. I don't know what you say about 46-point victories. That was okay. Sure, let's do it. Aiden McClanahan. Yeah, so after spending all day over on the islands, maybe that's a name I ought to be looking at. It might be a striker. All right. One more game to finish off the conference slate with a clean record. Maybe. Random task asked if I beat them by more than they scored. No. That's 46, right? They scored 49. I only won by 46. Close, but not quite. But very close. 3 points away. 3 points away, I'd have doubled them up. Gonzaga trying to steal some wins there. All right. So Duke is 9-10 in the ACC. You know the Dukies are sitting over there right now going, boys, we're 9-10 in the ACC. We got the in-conference undefeated North Carolina coming into our place. We're doing it right now. They're all getting hyped. Let's see if we can go in and be the big bad wolf and blow their house down. Or do our conference rivals just upset the cart right here? Can they do it? No. No, it's not happening. 28. Not even close to happening. We just ran roughshod through that ACC. And that included 2 road games against top 15 teams, one at Notre Dame and one at Syracuse. And none of them were even close. In fact, outside of the Arizona loss, I don't know if we've had a single-digit game this year. Let me, before we get going any further, let me grab a drink. One of them tried to jump out of the fridge at me, so I'll just grab 2. And let's go check the schedule. All right, what we're looking for here, this must be the one that jumped. All right, we lost by 7 at Arizona. Are there any other games that were within single digits this entire season? No, there were not. All right, so not only is Arizona the only team to beat us, Arizona was the only team that didn't get beat by at least 10. I'd like to go back and check it again and see how many of them were by more than 15. It might have been all of them. It was definitely a lot of them. Definitely a lot of them. All right, we should now have the email about who's going pro. Oh, and we got Booker Jones is coming. So we needed a big man. We also kind of needed a guard. I mean, if we assumed we weren't losing anybody, yes, we needed a guard. The problem is we're going to lose a lot of these big men. Ooh, Claggett's a finalist. Look at that, he snuck into the top 10. Who's leaving? Oh, a lot of them. Yeah, so both the centers are gone. We knew Chris Brand. We pretty much knew Stuart Ricks. Kevin Harris, I didn't necessarily expect. Claggett, not a shock. All right, damage control. Our centers are gone. We still have Dodd. Our small forwards, we've lost 2 of them. we still have the one that's not playing. And then Kevin Harris, a bit of a surprise here at the guard. But we'll still have Calhoun and Morris. So let's take stock. We got Calhoun, Morris. In theory, we have Quentin Mansell. If he doesn't transfer, he's not a transfer candidate. So we'll have Mansell. We'll still have Kyle Dodd as a senior. And that's about it in this walk-on. We'll have... And then we'll have point guard, shooting guard, power forward that we just recruited. So next year we're going to have to rely on Dodd and the other power forward that we just recruited to hold down the inside. Maybe we got to throw this walk-in into the mix. We would have been fine had that center not blown his ACT. Mansell should be able to hold down this small forward position, no problem at all. The interesting thing is next year we're going to have like, geez, well, however many we just lost. What did we just lose? We just lost 6 players. We just had 6 players declare early. So we'll have those 6 scholarships. That might be it. That's a lot of scholarships. That's a lot of guys declaring to go pro early. But it happens. When you got a team like this, you got to be ready for that. That's why every season I try to recruit relatively balanced. In case I lose my entire team. Because then I know my incoming freshman, I mean, I got 2 guards and a big man. I tried to go shooting guard, power forward, center. Didn't work out. But that's why I do that every year, because you never know who's leaving. Sometimes, like Morris and Claggett, there are mild surprises. I mean, they're both excellent players. They should get drafted. Those are the players I would like to see declare early more often, are guys that have stuck around for a few years and then they're just killing it. But they were a threat to go every year, so it's not a surprise by any means. Nobody on there was a big surprise, honestly. All right, so into the ACC tournament. Now, I guess if we officially want to go undefeated through the entire ACC, we gotta do it through the tournament as well. So first, Miami. Yes, 24 points. Easily. Look at that. Georgia Tech, they're ranked now. And then Syracuse and Notre Dame waiting on the other side. So it's all ranked teams from here on out. Let's see what Georgia Tech has for us. Not much. 21-point Vic. Oh, Kyle Dodd. He's popping up into the top 3. Only 1.3 blocks, 3 steals. What was my man doing that got him into the top 3 performers there? Either way, Notre Dame has another shot at us. They couldn't get us at home, but they get another shot here in this ACC championship game. Can they be the first ACC team to take us down this year? No! Absolutely not. That will not be happening. 30-point victory over the Irish. Take a look at that box score just to make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Three couples of these guys, 6 of these guys playing their last games in the ACC. And doing it well. Hanging another ACC banner. So we've got all kinds of ACC hardware at this point. And now we got to see, like, we had won a national championship. We thought we were going to win another one. We got absolutely shocked in the Elite Eight last year. Let's see if we can make up for that right here. All right, let's get our playing games. Now, right out of the gate, we get dissed. And UCLA gets awarded the #1 overall seed. So, if you're looking for something to fuel your fire, boys, there it is. Syracuse grabs a 3. Ole Miss must have fell off. So we get the #2 overall seed. Excuse me. Notre Dame again. So Notre Dame will not leave us alone. They might get another shot at knocking us off this year. Utah State with a 1. Missouri with a 2. Richmond, USC. Well, Western Kentucky, some Hilltoppers popping up in there. Belmont, always doing things in these saves. And then Arizona. So I do feel decent. At least, you know, the one team that beat us, they're a 1 seed in the tournament. All right. Let's see if we can do it. Get out there and make it happen, fellas. Well, how exciting would it be to get Arizona, the rematch against Arizona in the national championship game? I'm not sure if the brackets are set up to allow for it, but that's what I'm calling right now. I would love to see it. I mean, if they beat us twice and it's like once they ruin our season and the second time they steal our championship, well, whatever, kudos to them. But let's see what happens on a neutral court. I'm bound and determined now to get there. All right, Bethune-Cookman. Avoid the Agalia curse. No upset in the first round. All right, on to the second round. We take on the Butler Bulldogs. Winner advances to the Sweet 16. Ooh, Georgia Tech got rocked by Temple. Absolutely rocked. Syracuse hangs on by the skin of their teeth. Notre Dame fighting on. But Georgia Tech going home. North Carolina. Let's not go home early. Anything can happen in this NCAA tournament. I got a little bit nervous there when I first saw the 52. I was like, oh, crap, was that my team? I'm like, oh, no. My team's the one with the big 8-7 next to them. All right. Back into the Sweet 16 again. Marching on. Let's go, fellas. Let's go. No stupid upsets like last year. Oh, now we get Temple. Now, Temple has looked pretty good throughout the year. And Notre Dame just got cleared out of the way. So now we just got to get past the Owls of Temple. And we're into the Elite Eight. Can we do it? I don't know. I just want to win a Sweet 16 game. Like, can we just win this one, please? Whew, 13. I do think that's been the closest game that we've played since the loss to Arizona. All right, and now we get 2-seed Purdue. UCLA's marching on. They're holding, their own. They're doing their part as the number 1 overall seed. Now, what can we do? Can we say we should have been that number 1 overall seed, or are we going to prove the committee right? The Boilermakers and the Tar Heels in the Elite Eight. Winner goes to the Final Four. Woo! That winner is North Carolina by 20. Claggett, Jordan, and Morris, LLC. All right. Oh, and I think that was Arizona making it back into the Final Four right there. So, my goodness, we are back in the Final Four. We've avenged our loss from last year in Greensboro. It was UCLA over Syracuse. Doesn't look like anything too surprising there. Milwaukee, nothing too surprising. San Antonio. Oh, okay. So USC beat Utah State. Belmont beat my old Missouri Tigers. And then Belmont over USC. So Belmont shocking their way into the Final Four. And in Albuquerque, and it was just Arizona over Wisconsin. So Belmont is the Cinderella right now. So, pardon. Yeah. Random Task said it's the Perdon't Boilermakers. All right, so yeah, I'll give you that one for sure. All right, so we got everything straight ahead of us. We got the team that stole our 1 seed in UCLA, and then theoretically we could have the Arizona Wildcats after that. Here we go. Anything can happen in the Final Four, folks. Absolutely anything. I got no idea what UCLA's got. It looks like they've had a heck of a season. So you just got to hope that this group of upperclassmen, they've all declared for the NBA. You got to hope they're sitting around saying, you know what? Like, we won it 2 years ago. Last year was an embarrassment. We are not going home without nets. We're not going home without a net. There's Arizona beat Belmont, so they're ready for us. Devin Bragg is going off. Devin Bragg, oh my word, that's who killed us. We gotta beat the Bruins so to get to him. All right, let's get it. Let's go, Tar Heels. 101-78. Oh my word. Taking our #1 overall seed. Get out of here with that. No way that should have happened. Absolutely no way that should have happened. And now, right down to it. This, ladies and gentlemen, we are 38-1, 20-0 in the ACC. The Arizona Wildcats are the only team that beat us all year. And we get them again in the national championship game. It's like somebody wrote a script. All right. What is this? This was Breeze's bad joke earlier, right? About the Wildcats. Wildcats are cats that go wild on the court. But can they beat a Tar Heel? Again. They got us once. We weren't ready for them. Can they do it again? Arizona 32-6. North Carolina 38-1. Who will have their one shining moment tonight? April 3rd, 2039. The Cats and the Tar Heels. And it's Tar Heels all the way. It's Tar Heels all the way, baby. That's another national championship for North Carolina. And look who went off. Daryl Morris for 29 points in a national championship game, folks. It was close in the first half. And Daryl Morris in the second half said, not happening. 6 of 12 from 3. Goodness gracious. We turned Church over a handful of times. We kept Bragg in check. And the North Carolina Tar Heels hang another banner. 14 points in the national championship game. So once again, outside of Arizona beating us early in the season at their place, no other game the entire season was within 10 points. So that's pretty epic. We're one game away from some real history right there. Overall, it creeped back down. We scored about 90 a game, gave up 62 a game. So about 28-point differential there. Who ended up 15-7-2, 16-4-8. Claggett ended up most impactful. Interesting. Let's check out these awards. He's like a shotgun, a natty light. I don't think that's what. If we went undefeated, it would be something we could talk about. So, dude from UCLA, Jason Mann, all over the place. Oh, we were in on him, right? The big man? Yeah. He was the MVP at Indy. All right, so we got the most outstanding player in the Final Four. I got the Coach of the Year overall. No first-team All-Americans. Claggett grabbed a second-team All-American. In the ACC, how you win the national championship, national Coach of the Year, and you can't win Coach of the Year over this loser, Josh Pastner, who I just don't like. 9 losses. Like, get out of here. That's garbage. And Player of the Year, everything goes to Syracuse. We beat Syracuse by like 20 at their place. Get out of here with that. First team all-conference. There you go. Claggett, Morrison, Jordan. LLC. First team all-ACC performances. Second teamers, throw in Kyle Dodds. Oh, Calhoun got snubbed. Ray Calhoun, the only starter for North Carolina, got snubbed from all the all-conference teams. You know, there's not a third team all-conference on this game, but I'll just throw it out there. Ray Calhoun was a third team all-ACC player. Yeah, I mean, I can see no first team All Americans just because, like I said, these guys all kind of eat up each other's stats. You know, Jordan, Claggett, and Morris, all three to get like any one of those guys on their own is probably the Norton Award winner. But you put them all on the same team, I mean, what are you gonna do, right? All right, looks like we did pretty good here on our season review, up to 98 prestige. Take that. I will take that. So here are the jobs that are available. Huh? Duke is calling. Michigan calling. Missouri's calling. Missouri wants us back. Like they're up to 85 prestige. What did we leave them at? Like 70, 75? They jumped up. All right. You know, we'll have to keep eyes on these available coaching jobs because we'll do the North Carolina thing for a little bit longer just to keep like seeing how far can we push it. But eventually, we're going to pull off onto one of these and be like, yeah, we're going to Liberty, and we're just going to see what happens, you know? So eventually, we're going to get around to that. So if y'all see something interesting out there, not tonight, but another night, shout it out. For now, we are quite happy in Chapel Hill. We're happy in Chapel Hill until it gets super boring. Do we need staff? Probably. No. Can we sign extensions? 154. What's he make? Making 150. Yeah. Excuse me. Ergo's making 75. We'll take it for 77. Yes, sir. And he's still got 2 years, so we're good. No staff hiring for us. We're quite satisfied with our staff. Thank you very much. All right, so now we just got to get through this offseason and see what this team looks like for next year. I don't know with the big man situation. I don't know if we're going to be that dominant next year. I mean, we still very much are going to have a chance, but it's going to be much more in question. This year, there wasn't much question in what was going to happen this year, I don't think. Most of that was pretty well predetermined. Now, gotta get all the way through the coach hiring. There we go. Took it a minute. So what do we want to petition the board for? Facilities, I suppose. We certainly don't need more budget or time. We can't even spend the budget that we already have. And something tells me our coach security or whatever is quite good. I'm gonna go ahead and save it here. Just there was like a moment in that last processing that I was a little bit nervous I was losing something, so I don't want to lose it here. So we're gonna go ahead and save, especially since we got that hardware. Although I suppose even if we lost it, like I could just resim that season. Like that team's winning the championship every time, unless there's a devastating injury. All right, let's get to the offseason and see what it looks like. Is that a little yappy dog I hear? Yeah, there's a little dog upstairs probably barking at the big dog. We got 2 dogs, 3 kids, a wife, other noisy things. There's plenty of stuff going on upstairs, but I don't hear any of them like yelling and screaming at each other. So I'm going to assume that I'm all right to hang out for another 5 minutes. Some nights, I think there's only been like once where I've been like, guys, I gotta go. I gotta get off stream because something's happening. I try not to do that. It's usually all right. But yeah, we got a couple of dogs. I'm interested. I definitely need to get in there and see that small forward, like, he didn't seem like any kind of risk to transfer out. None of them did, but like, as thin as the team is going to be, I would at least like to see it. We might, as much as we lost, I mean, we could even be like a 2-seed type of team this year. It could be a long shot for another championship. I'm really disappointed I haven't even been able to go back-to-back yet in this save. It upset your dog. Sorry about that random task. Oh, man. Alright. 9 scholarships open, so once again, we're completely rebuilding. Oh, my word. We had the 4th ranked recruiting class. Alright, let's buy some not dumb reports this year. I don't know what in the world we did last year. Like, all we really have to do here, we could just buy a national report. Okay, let me think about this. We could buy every regional report. That way we'd actually spend all our money. That'd be $150,000. We'd still have, like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's buy every regional report. Cool. Should be good. Can't possibly mess that up. Get a hotel room for streaming. Yeah, I don't know if that'll work. Before I look too much at that. No transfers. That's good. We maybe should look at the transfers. None of them have interest. None of them ranked above a C. Let's check here. Points per game. Anybody standing out? Nothing's standing out. I think what we'll have to do, though, I mean, we're going to have 9 scholarships. We should try to find something here. There's got to be one player we could grab. Ooh, Medley from Texas. He's averaging, where's Medley? 31 minutes, 12 points a game, 7 rebounds. I was actually looking for a big man and assumed with 7 rebounds a game that this was probably a big man, and it's not. But of course, he just has no interest. No, this guy doesn't have interest either. Wow. I would like to say I have more confidence in my recruiting than what I could pull out of here, but 9 scholarships is a little excessive. Let's offer and contact Medley. I'll also offer and contact this one. See if we can grab either of those. If we get one of them, that would be awesome. If we don't, so be it. I'm not going to be that worried about it. Let's see what they say. No, nothing. It at least generated interest. So let's contact and offer again. Contact and offer again. Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's cool. Like, I just want... Oh, we got both of them, right? Yeah. Alright, skip the sessions, then we can take a look at our team. Because I think... Well, once we set up our travel and get to the 26, it ought to give us our walk-ons as well. So we can see everything we got. Yeah, doing every regional like that, I mean, we just get more players. I don't know. We should still have like 70,000 to recruit with. I always figure about 20,000 for the summer camps or whatever, and that still leaves us like 40 or 50,000. Just more than enough. Even if we only signed like 5 guys, 4 or 5 guys, whatever. What the AI suggest. I don't know why they're not adding these two, but we're going to. And now let's take a look at the team that we're going to have when we come back live for the next stream, which will hopefully be next week. Still trying to do weekly streams. You know what? I'm on this week. I was on last week. I did miss the week before that, so trying not to do that too often, but every now and then it happens. Kids get busy. Life gets busy. And I do feel like when we do these streams, we get an hour and a half out of it, so not too shabby. So Booker Jones, what was he? Oh, he was a relatively low rank, so he'll actually be around. He can be a nice. That's a really good pickup actually, because while he's only 3 stars, he's gonna help solidify the guard position a little bit. So Ray Calhoun and Daryl Morris can do their thing again this year. Booker Jones can kind of just fill in behind him and then take over next year as a sophomore. And he's from Bridgewater, which Teddy Bridgewater just happens to be one of the coolest Louisville quarterbacks ever. I named my kid after him, so there's that. All right, so Medley, the transfer, definitely very solid. Unfortunately not available this year. He'll be here next year, but for now we're going to have to rely on Mansell. And can we call him Johnny? And then obviously we've got Dodd and Leslie on the inside. Not much else. Greg Williams, the other transfer, he's a 3-star guy, so another one that maybe can solidify a little bit, be around for a while. But so we definitely have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. I mean, we've got 5 eligible players this year that are just stellar. We have Booker Jones and some walk-ons that can be the backups. Oh, no, Alex Collins. But he's going to have to slide up. We're going to have to play Booker Jones at the 1 and 2, let Collins back up to 3, and then just like duct tape and whatever else we can find on the inside, because we got nothing. Sometimes the game helps you out with some walk-ons. This year gave us nothing on the inside. But we've got Kyle Dodd, who's a senior, who will be excellent. We got James Leslie, the freshman, who should be just stellar. What was he? Number 2 ranked recruit in the country. Take a look here at the roster. James Leslie and Kyle Dodd both with 8 scoring. Mansell with 8 scoring. Morris with 8 scoring. Calhoun will be the only starter that has less than 8 scoring. That's incredible. Defensively, I mean, pretty solid. Leslie, not great defensively. All right, so we should be able to score. We are going to have to work and figure out exactly what we do with strategy, because we aren't going to be able to press that hard and go that deep. Look at that. Stuart Ricks actually went number 1 overall. Chris Brand went number 3. So these were 2 of the guys that contributed less for us. And that's the reason that we didn't have a ton of interest in our school, is we had guys like this eating up all the playing time. Claggett went 11th. Rashawn Gomes 13th. I mean, all these guys that you're seeing up here aren't the ones that were contributing. The ones that were contributing were Claggett. Let's see, Matt Jordan. Come on, way down here, Kevin Harris with a nice little backup guard for us. Is there one missing? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's all of them. All right, so you can see the NBA, they draft off potential. So these guys that didn't play as much had very high potential. The guys who contributed a lot were down a little bit lower. And the really nice thing is, a couple of the guys that were contributing were Calhoun and Morris, who are still very much here, and Dodd. I mean, we brought back 3 starters off of that. As thin as this team looks, we brought back 3 starters off a team that just won a national championship, only lost 1 game all season. We reinforced it with a couple of decent guards, a decent inside guy. Most teams would be thrilled to have this. We're still very much number 1 overall. And let's just take a quick look. Given what we lost, do we have more interest this year? Luckily, we grabbed a couple of transfers, a couple of good transfers as well, if I do say so. So we only need 7 guys. Yeah, look how much deeper we have interest this year. Last year, we might only had less than 10 4-star guys overall. Look how many this year. There's a ton of interest because we got a ton of playing time available. So the next recruiting stream, lately I've been trying to bang these out in about an hour and 45 minutes, trying to get the recruiting done in like 30 and just jump straight into the play. Next stream, we're probably going to have to slow down and pay a little bit more attention to the recruiting because we got more scholarships. We got more that we're going to need to get accomplished. I don't personally like to have more than 3 scholarships available. 4 is okay. Anything above 4 is a huge gamble and a risk, and it's difficult. So we'll have to slow down and pay attention to what we're doing. But you know, we're set. We want another national championship, guys. We went undefeated in the ACC. We only lost 1 game all year, and then we avenged it in the national championship. I mean, I'm not writing the stories over here, but I can't write a better story than that one. That's all that I can give you. That's everything I've got. You know, we were winning games by 30 a game, and we avenged our only loss in the national championship, hung a banner, and then 6 guys went pro. That's about what I can give you. That's all that I have. So tonight was an absolute blast. I hope you all enjoyed it. It looks like next time will still be very fun, but there will be some different challenges thrown our way. But I'm cutting it off here. Thank you guys for watching, whether it's on YouTube, whether you're in here live, hit me up on Discord, in chat, whatever. And if you got your football manager tips, please help me out. Otherwise, I'm going to stroke out before I can stream again, trying to get some of these soccer teams going. So thanks for the stream, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all, and I will see you next time.